So this was the sky today in Boston, Massachusetts, the 28th of May, 2025, and it's absolutely utterly insane. But one strange thing that I noticed that I've never actually caught on video too many times before was the shape of the sun. Because it was 70 degrees, and just videotaping this, the sun was burning my skin. Are you noticing anything strange about the shape of the sun? Yeah, yeah, pay attention. Watch, watch, watch. You'll see, you'll see. And there it is. That's a weird round planet, isn't it? Or a star. But we'll get back to that. First, I want to play this. This is from Ron Wyatt's wife, and this is an important announcement.
Hi, I'm Mary Neal, your host on this YouTube channel. As you know, if you've been watching our movies long enough, then you'll know that I was married to Ron Wyatt. And we are going to start having a video log every now and then, hopefully once every couple of weeks. Today, I want to talk about something that's bothering me greatly. If you've been watching the news, then I'm sure you've seen all of these stories about people out in Turkey that are doing this new work, and they're claiming that maybe it will prove that this site is Noah's Ark. Well, the fact of the matter is that it was proven to be Noah's Ark a long time ago. And what they are wanting to do was the very first thing that Ron did back in 1979. In 1979, when he went back to the boat-shaped object, he saw the crack that exposed the insides of the ark. So he took samples from inside. Then he went outside of the site and took samples and brought them home and had them tested at Galbraith Labs in Knoxville, Tennessee. And what they proved was that there was a very big difference in the carbon content from inside the ship and outside of the shape. What they discovered was that there was a very big difference in carbon. This was done in 1979. It was done again in 1984. And yet there are people who are saying, oh, we've got this new and exciting information. Well, it isn't new. And it's also not going to prove that maybe this is Noah's Ark, because long ago, the government of Turkey accepted all of the evidence, both from Ron and from the Turkish scientists. It was enough to convince them that yes, this was an ancient ship and it had to be Noah's Ark because of its location and everything. So I want you to be careful what you watch, what you listen to, and especially if people are asking you for money or anything like that, because all of this work has been done. And now I'm going to have Dr. Bill Shea of the Biblical Research Institute in Silver Spring, Maryland, who worked with Ron back during that time. He will explain what took place and the results.
Soil samples have been taken from the formation on two different occasions, in 1979 and again in 1984. It's the 1979 samples that first gave the clue that there is a distinct difference in the amount of carbon in the formation as opposed to the field outside of the formation. I have the reports here. They were run at the Galbraith Laboratory. I believe that's in Knoxville, Tennessee. And the carbon content from the sample number 2, which was taken from inside the formation, was 4.95%. The carbon content of the soil from outside the formation, since sample number 1, was 1.88%, or it's a difference of about 2% in the field outside the formation and 5% in the field in the formation. Now, it has been observed that perhaps some of this carbon is due to farming on top of the formation. Indeed, it has been used for pasture land. But Ron took this sample, as I understand it, in a time during the year after an earthquake actually cracked part of the formation open. So he was able to get down in the crevasse, or whatever you want to call it, and get a relatively fresh new sample. that would not have been contaminated by farming.
And the thing that really disturbs me probably the most is the fact that there are people saying, oh, maybe we can prove this is Noah's Ark. They are discounting all of Ron's years of hard work, all of his money that he had to spend, all of his time to prove to the Turkish government. Why is there a visitor center there? It's there because they accepted the results. So I just want you to know that all of this work has already been done, and it already proved to the Turks that this is Noah's Ark.
So Mrs. Wyatt's 100% accurate on this. We're Americans, so we don't think much of Turkey. But Turkey, the entire country of Turkey that is millennia older than the United States, it's a majority Muslim country, literally, officially, and publicly announced that they had Noah's Ark and that it indeed was Noah's Ark. And nobody cared. It wasn't on the mainstream news. It wasn't headlines, nothing like that. Now they're saying they discovered it. Well, don't believe the hype. What you're looking at right now is a 3.5 hour long time lapse I took of a flower in front of my house. This thing is just going and going and going, and it's in full bloom. But are you noticing anything? I did this for a reason, and not one bee visited this plant. That doesn't make any sense. It's wide open. That's what the flowers are for, to attract the bees. Not a single insect landed on these whatsoever at all. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can just keep going and going, but apparently it takes a lot. It's actually, it's like 13 minutes long, but no bees. No bees whatsoever at all. I'll leave this at the end of the video, and if you want to watch it for yourself, you can, but there's no audio, and there's no bees. It's crazy, right? Oh, a fly went by. A fly. But no bees. Crazy. And this is why. Do you see a round sun, or do you see a hexagon? That's all I see is a hexagon. Wow, a bird. Amazing. We've got a bird in our neighborhood. Insane. That's crazy. Wow, what's spraying that? Because I can't see any plane. All I'm seeing is something spraying. Something spraying incredibly fast. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Look at how close I can zoom on this thing.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston, and I stumbled onto a video yesterday that was put up by Ortega Blue, and it's a kid called, I think it's Big Asian Package Blog. I'm not sure, but I'll leave a link. I'm still trying to get his permission at this point to use some video he's got. If you've been on my channel for the last couple of years, you've seen me put up chemtrail videos over and over and over, and they're the ones that never get any views because nobody cares about the air they're breathing or the fact that the sun doesn't come out anymore. But after doing a couple of searches, this is a patent search. This is patent number 32396660, and it belongs to NASA. And it's right here. I'll leave a link to this PDF file. It's a star. NASA owned patent for a star. This is in 1971, and it goes back even further than that. In accordance with the procedures contained in the Code GP to Code USI memorandum on this subject dated June 8, 1970, the attached NASA-owned U.S. patent is being forwarded for abstracting an announcement in NASA Star. Corporate source, Bausch & Lomb. NASA patent case number HQN-10781. Gail Parker. And this is the numbering right here. This is crazy. Now things are starting to make a little bit more sense. When I was a kid, I mean, remember, 48, I was born in 67. When I was a kid, the sun was out every day. Once in a while, it was cloudy out. Now, living in Boston is like living in London. It's gray out every day. If the sun does happen to make a debut, they smoke it by the very end of the day. Look at this shit. This is for real. You know, all the videos of people getting with two suns and Nibiru and this and that. I don't know. I'm putting this out here for your comments. If you want to talk shit, feel free, but you're not helping anybody. So this is crazy. And I know the flat earth guys are going to jump all over it. Just look at it. Look at it for what it is. Okay? I'll leave a link for this.
Clear as a bell. I mean, there's one little line right there. But let's take a look over here where the sunset is. Look at that. They are blocking out the sunset every single day. And this has been going on for years. And you have people over here actually taking pictures. Look at the beautiful sunset. Look at this stuff. What is that right over Boston?
Now, if you recall, when NASA launched that lithium up into the sky, they said it was going to reflect red, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, when the sun is past the horizon or it's moved out of sight, whatever you want to call it, global, spherical, ball earth, flat earth, I don't care. When it moves off, the sky stays glowing red. And I think I even mentioned that. It looks like the horizon now looks like the atmosphere of Mars.
Reddish color. Looks like the atmosphere of Mars.
That's kind of odd, huh?
So that gives a little credence to Anthony Patch's and several other very smart fellows' thoughts that they're actually terraforming the air for another species that's not us. Which would explain why all the robots and CERN has literally made themselves a back door. I don't know. Look at that. Clear.
You can see here pretty clearly that that is not round. That is some sort of a hexagon or a cube or a black hole sun. Have they taken the sun out of the sky? How crazy does that sound? Look at that. Look at the local lighting on the clouds. If that sun's 93 million miles away and the size that they claim it is, it wouldn't be lighting up just this small area of the clouds. This stuff is showing up absolutely everywhere. Everywhere. And I understand that there's plenty of hoaxes out there, but there's plenty that aren't. I am almost positive I have seen this exact setup in the sky where I was watching the sun, and it also appeared that below and away from it, just like in this video right here, there was an additional sun. That sphere right there is not causing that light down there, and that is not a reflection. There it is. That's it. Nibiru, all these other things, I don't know about that. Now they're claiming they found a ninth planet in our orbit. Caltech did. You know what I'm saying? This is just a bunch of ramblings, people, but let me get your input on this because there is a lot of shit going on. Every single day they block out the sun, at sunset specifically, if not all day.
I have ever seen it. Look at the squares in the sky. The grid pattern is just unbelievable. Look at this stuff. Everyone just sits back and takes pictures of it. It's so beautiful. Look at the sunset.
Now this video is on a separate day. I can do this every single day. If the sun's out, by the time the end of the day comes, the sun's going to be completely obscured, just like it is. And the grid pattern is just ridiculous. They do tic-tac-toes, everything. And I mean, as you can see, I live on the ocean. So I have a really good east to west view, pretty much unobstructed, and I'm at sea level exactly. So if anybody out there needs any testing done with astronomical binoculars, telescopes, the horizon, and the ocean, let me know, because I can definitely do it. It's easy enough. I have my theories on the flat Earth versus the global Earth. But again, it doesn't apply right now. This is a big deal, and it doesn't get enough play. Every single one of us is subject to this stuff. We're breathing it in. You know what I'm saying? It's blocking out the sun. We're not getting vitamin D. And the fact that they've had patents around since I've been born on how to make an artificial sun, oh my. And it all belongs to NASA, and they call it a star. And now Russia's coming out. I mean, it just popped up the other day that Russia's coming out with this. They're going to try to build a star on their own. So,
called the Mayak, or Beacon Project, Russian engineers are hoping to launch a satellite that will become the brightest object in our skies, apart from the sun, thanks to a giant reflective sheet of material. The launch is scheduled for the summer, and is expected to be taken up in a Soyuz 2 rocket, with help from Roscosmos, the Russian space agency. The team is planning to place the spacecraft in a sun-synchronous orbit 370 miles above the ground. This means it will always be in the path of sunlight, so will always be shining at different locations on Earth as it rotates. The satellite itself won't serve a particular purpose, other than to prove what can be possible in the field.
I just find it really odd that all year, for the entirety of 2016, everybody has been arguing about some psyop or another. Meanwhile, this stuff is all really happening and it affects all of us directly. Whether we're on a globe or a flat plane, it doesn't matter. Our sun is being blocked out. There's zillions of pictures and video of two suns or whatever they are in the sky. And for time immemorial, everyone has been worshiping the sun. And now we find out there's patents that have been around for 50 years to build an artificial sun. Bausch and Lomb and NASA working together. You know what I mean? I saw a video this morning where people are actually worried about something on Ted Cruz's lip. Who cares? That's all a distraction. Even if our votes did somehow get counted by someone who cared what we thought, Electoral College, it doesn't matter. It's a distraction. Burns, Oregon, it's a distraction. Green screen or not, I saw that video with Herbert Walker Bush being rolled through. That was not a green screen whatsoever. That's used for measurements and such at NASA's control center for the space station or whatever. But it's not the point. Stuff like this matters. We need the sun to live. Period. That's a fact. The stuff they're spraying in the sky every single solitary day, we're breathing that in. That's a fact. Is it changing our DNA? Could be. They've got technology to do that, nanoparticle stuff like that. The fact that a supercomputer runs Google, runs NASA, runs CERN, runs ITER, those are things we should be worrying about. Gun control, that's out of our hands. It makes no difference. Presidential election, that's out of our hands. That makes no difference. You know what I'm saying? green screen at NASA, that's out of our hands, and it makes no difference. Richie from Boston. Leave your comments below. Thumbs down. I don't care. I'm out.
Boy, I was a happy fellow way back then, wasn't I? At any rate, I'm gonna leave this up. This was 3.5 hours, and apparently it took 15 minutes on time lapse. I'm gonna leave it here so you can see for yourself, and all the doubting Thomases can see. There is no way on God's green earth, no pun intended, that a flowering plant like this that smells phenomenal, not one single bee visits it in 3.5 hours at, I think it was 10:30 in the morning till around 2 in the afternoon. Perfectly sunny day. I mean, other than the chemtrailing, right now the sky looks like soup because we've got a storm coming. And for whatever reason, these guys kept flying west and then heading hard south. So, actually, let me see what that looks like on the COD. Oh my, this is live right now, 7:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm up here, this storm is coming, and they just flew from here and then took a hard turn right into this. So, yeah, something bad is coming. And yes, I heard about the resurgence. There was a C-19 outbreak in Asia, and it's now in the United States, because of course it is, because that's what Trump's going to do. That's what they're going to pull out all the stops. They're going to hit us from every angle. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, but here's the deal. No groceries, no banks, no gas, no nothing, unless you take the jab. That's going to be the wind-up. We've probably got a month or two, but I mean, it's already started. It's already started, and the sheep will start bleating and do exactly what they're supposed to do. And I didn't say bleeding, I said bleating. B-L-E-A-T-I-N-G. That's what sheep do. At any rate, here it is. I'll even add a little music for you. How do you like them apples? Richie from Boston. And I'm out.
And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse.
There's a man going round taking names, and he decides who to free and who to blame. Everybody won't be treated all the same. There'll be a golden ladder reaching down when the man comes around. The hairs on your arm will stand up at the terror in each sip and in each sup. Will you partake of that last offered cup, or disappear into the potter's ground when the man comes around? Hear the trumpets, hear the pipers, 100 million angels singing. Multitudes are marching to the big kettle drum. Voices calling, voices crying. Some are born and some are dying. It's Alpha and Omega's kingdom come. And the whirlwind is in the thorn tree. The virgins are all trimming their wicks. The whirlwind is in the thorn tree. It's hard for thee to kick against the pricks. Till Armageddon, no shalom, no shalom. Then the father hen will call his chickens home. The wise men will bow down before the throne, and at his feet they'll cast their golden crowns when the man comes around. Whoever is unjust, let him be unjust still. Whoever is righteous, let him be righteous still. Whoever is filthy, let him be filthy still. Listen to the words long written down when the man comes around. Hear the trumpets, hear the pipers, 100 million angels singing. Multitudes are marching to the big kettle drum. Voices calling, voices crying. Some are born and some are dying. It's Alpha and Omega's kingdom come. And the whirlwind is in the thorn tree. The virgins are all trimming their wicks. The whirlwind is in the thorn tree. It's hard for thee to kick against the pricks. In measured 100-weight and penny pound when the man comes around.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him.